VSA Michigan began in the mid-1970s when the John F. Kennedy Center hosted a conference to initiate very special arts programs across the nation. Michigan was represented by a steering committee and began to hold training and festivals throughout the state. Today, VSA Michigan has grown into an organization that reaches nearly 75,000 individuals on an annual basis.
VSA is an organization that promotes creative power in people with disabilities. And our vision is to create a society where people with disabilities participate in, learn through, excel in, and enjoy the arts. Our main programs are educational programs where we work with children, youth, and adults with disabilities, either in school settings or community settings. And our means of delivering the education program is to hire professional artists in whichever community we happen to be, and we are in several communities around the state, and to hire them to teach children and youth and adults with disabilities.
VSA Michigan is truly the state organization on arts and disabilities. And I say that because there really is no other organization, probably in the country, like VSA. Number one, we hire professional artists that have been working a long time, in some cases commissioned artists, to work for VSA and serve schools. They receive very extensive professional development training in working with those with disabilities. Most of them have already worked in school environments, so they're not tentative about that kind of work.
As I said before, we hire professional artists in the community, and we give them training so that they are able to teach what we call differentiated learners. So that when they teach drawing or painting or creative movement or drama, they can include everybody who's in the class in the activity, and everybody can learn together. So it's we call it the community of practice, and we do curriculum mapping, and we do universal design for learning strategies, which means that we focus on different ways to approach the arts, either visually, orally, kinesthetically, in order to reach everybody in the class.
Hubert Massey is a public artist who has been commissioned to create works in many places throughout the Metro Detroit area. His murals are in the Detroit Athletic Club, the Charles H. Wright Museum, and the Michigan State Fairgrounds. He is one of the artists who teaches for VSA Michigan. We're at Keidan Special Education Center that services 189 students with cognitive and visual impairments, as well as students in the autism spectrum disorder.
Well, what we're doing here today is that I bring in or come in and teach the kids art and get them to see through various techniques on how to experience art for them for the first time. And today we were working with senses, getting them to work with basic shapes, triangles, squares, and circles, and to mimic the form using sound. So I'll play some music, a little bit of a classical music, and have the students stand up and they emulate the shape using triangles, squares, and circles. And they do that in the motion of the beat. So they're imitating sound, creating shapes as they stand next to their chair. And then when they get through doing that, we'll take the same the sounds that the students are listening. They'll sit down and they'll start creating the artwork, which is the triangles, squares, and circles on the paper. And a lot of kids really get into that because they hear the sound, they hear the beat, and they kind of want to stay on point sometimes. And then some of them, they might have a little difficulty, so we might do a little handover with the students and all. But all in all, I think they get a great experience.
The staff at Keidan Special Education Center have seen the difference art makes with their students.
Arts not only gives the children an idea about culture, it allows them to move parts of their body that they typically wouldn't be able to move, and it brings excitement with them every day. Our students here at Keidan are always excited about looking forward to Fridays, working with the art instructor about the different paints and the brushes, and working with the paintbrush stroke. It's helping them with their fine motor skills, maybe helping them as they become an adult sign their name. What are the keystrokes to their name, and learning those keystrokes to their name, giving them the confidence to interact more socially with their peers as they become adults and as they transition into adulthood. All of those are skills that are taught through the fine arts and through fine motor skills.
I felt this program, VSA, was necessary for our children because our children face a lot of learning challenges. The art is a way for our students to be creative. It motivates them to learn. Our students get to find out that they are not bound by their disabilities, but they also are able to create and use their imagination.
Anyone should care about our population because our population of needs students is the same population that's going to be out into the society as they reach adults. They're going to be your greeters at Walmart. There may be the person who sees you as you walk into the store, may assist you with your groceries, may be working in the local factories, and maybe even bright and intelligent enough that they may move on to higher education. So we never want to not have our children the opportunity to be awarded and afforded with the same educational opportunities as the general education students.
They're people just like everybody else. They're in our community. They're people that we walk by, that we see all the time in passing and all. And that's just part of our society. And they deserve to have this type of a program just like everybody else does. So in the long run, it makes the world a healthy place to me. I think we all need to have art.
I, for one, am a teacher who is product driven. I learned through Mr. Massey that is not the product so much as the process that the students go through to get to their end result that's important. I've seen our students who were more inhibited and more withdrawn. I've seen them come out artistically because they see that they can create just like every other child in the classroom, and that makes them feel good.
The aha factor. I see it all the time when a kid who normally doesn't really get interactive with things, but all of a sudden becomes inspired and starts to draw. So I do a little hand over, but then I release my hand from the child's hand, and all of a sudden his hand is still going. He's still making the circles, and he's still making the shapes and all. And then he or she gets excited, and they start moving and start smiling and all. And I know that they're really enjoying this experience.
It was okay. I liked it. It's okay. You make the circles, and it's nice. I like it. It's pretty good. Pretty good at it. Draw. I love to draw. That's my favorite. I love to draw.
Moses Field is another one of the schools where VSA Michigan holds classes. Here, students learn through drama, dance, and music.
Well, Moses Field is a center-based program for students with moderate to cognitive and severe impairments. And VSA came to us one day with their program, letting us know that they were available to provide services to our students in the form of drama, the arts, dance, and music. And it was put out to the teachers, and several of them said they were interested, and they came up with the drama piece. And that's what they wanted to do with the students, to give them that experience with getting some acting skills and, understanding what goes on in a play production, just to develop their skills, speaking, interacting with each other, playing a role. So that's how that came about.
You ready? Are we ready?
Yes.
Hello, 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 how are you? I have more fun than you could ever imagine. I teach drama to the disabled students that are here, which is the entire community, and it is, I should say, challenge students, but it's more of a challenge for me because they respond. It's so interesting how they respond to the to theater, and I'm animated, as you may see already, and the students respond so well to just anything visual, anything vocal, anything alive, anything and they feel that positive spirit, and that's the interesting part of my job, because a lot of people may say, oh, well, they can't handle that, or they're not able to do that because they have this disadvantage, but not at all. It comes out in their eyes, in their heart and their spirit, and they just emote all this love and beauty. It's just a joy for me to do this. Yes, she's fixing her hair. She's fixing her hair. Okay, let me have, who else would like to do a pantomime? Come on in.
It complements by giving them the creative dramatization of what I'm doing. Ms. Porter has came in, has students whom were not as engaged, are 100% engaged. She brings the life, the more of where I'm the academic, she's the creative side of the academics that I'm trying to teach. Like in social studies, we're teaching about African history. She comes in and she brings Harriet Tubman to life for the students, and it keeps them engaged.
The key to successful programming, the main key is to have fun. The key to successful program of being accepted district-wide is to show, as I said again, accountability. Does the program engage the children in learning? And as long as we have a product, we have engaged them in learning, and they are reflecting back what it is that they are, whatever arts they're participating in, that goes an awful long way.
The positive is the communication. That's the big thing with the population, is being communicable, and also socialization. Students here at Mosesfield are more sociable now since VSA has came. They are able to vocalize their expressions. They're able to be engaged in activities. They're more intellectual about what they're going to say, and they think and they visualize, and they're more prepared. As in the classroom, I have more participation from students who were nonverbal. They're more raising their hands, they're giving out gestures, they're being more inclusive.
It's so important for this community of students, for them to feel like they are a part of society, that they are accepted, that they are God's, blessed child, like we all should. So that to me is the most fulfilling, gratifying. Is there another adjective I can use?
It's been wonderful for our students. I really look forward to Ms. Porter coming in, and I have seen them blossom. They really truly express themselves. They're comfortable while they're having fun. It's really enhanced their communication skills. They're more positive in their self-image, their language skills, just expressive and receptive. I would say it's had the most effect on.
The conductor. You ready for the trip? When the sun comes up and the first quail calls, follow the drinking, going down. Here come the dogs. Here come the dogs. Well, Harriet Tubman, some people called her the Black Moses, was a conductor on the Underground Railroad, and she was a runaway slave who led many, many people to freedom. And so she kind of represents, she represents that spirit that everyone needs for determination. She represents so many things, especially to this community, because it's determination, it's drive, it's accomplishment. There are so many things. There were slaves that never learned to read or write, but they still accomplished. They still did things and were functional in society. So no matter what your limitations may be, and because for a black person, you know, well, for black people, because of racism and all kinds of other things that would make a person hold another person back for whatever reason, still survived, still survive. So no matter what your limitations are or what restrictions people put on you, you can still make it happen. And I think that message and that is something that this community really can live by. So she represents so much for me and to them. And Freedom Land for you is education. You are in the classroom and you are free to do what? What do you do in the classroom? Learn. Thank you. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you. Bye. Harriet has to go. Bye.
Sharina Sharp is a woman of substance who brings value to her community by teaching creative writing. Sharina teaches having control over words allows one to own their experience. Focus becomes resolve, and circumstance dissolves into a backstory of success. It is potential realized. Meet Sharina Sharp.
I hope that students will learn to observe themselves, study themselves, and learn to be thinkers, to question everything, and to know that they have all the answers within themselves, and then to kind of let that idea spread, so students make smart decisions and kind decisions and compassionate decisions, and they know how to unweave problems, things like that. Well, this class it's a part of a 3-part series. The students all have drama, they have visual art, and then they have creative writing. And all 3 parts play into each other. The students are responsible, all of them are responsible for coming to creative writing, and then those ideas kind of manifest themselves later in their visual art or their drama. So here, our first semester, we studied the self. We went through our belief system, and then we're using that in our second semester to study the outer community. And so we're taking our belief system to investigate now how we treat others.
VSA, I say VSA, it's a good program. My whole life in school, I never had an art program, so when I came in here, I really was able to express myself and to share my thoughts with others. So basically, I appreciate their time that they took out to teach us and to mentor us, even though I wasn't here majority of the time because of the situations at home, but like, I enjoyed it, and everybody here, they respectful, and the kids respectful, and everybody got great ideas, so yeah, I hope they keep pumping VSA for more years and more years. I hope my kids can go, so.
I love the fact that you can express yourself through poetry, express your thoughts. Poetry is a lot like drawing a picture because you can express certain textures, the look of something, and how something smells. You can express all 5 of your senses through poetry or through writing. So poetry is a big part of my life.
I moved to Michigan, I guess, about 10, 12 years ago. And when I came to Osborn High School, it had band, we had choir, we had an art program. We had all these wonderful things, all these wonderful opportunities for the students. And each year, different programs got cut. In the school system, when we're working on a budget, the arts are the first things that are cut. So we come back one year and there's no band. And then we come back another year and there's no choir. We come back the next year and there's no art teacher. So when VSA came to Osborn, we were like, oh my goodness, What opportunities, what new opportunities will our students have? So this program is so important because we're dealing, unfortunately, with a high school who has no arts, and VSA is giving these students opportunities and exposure to the arts now.
Definitely they should be funded, because when you don't have those things that are already in schools, like we don't have those extra music, dancing, we need organizations like VSA to come in and have those type of skills that need to be refined and built upon, okay? Because if not, our students will pretty much drop out, or they don't have those skills to be refined. And there's just a loss. And I believe that when you have these gifts and you never show the purpose, or you never get anyone to tell you why you have a purpose, then that's lost, that's criminal. There's so much talent, untapped talent, that's criminal, not to have that happen. So,
to create more great programs like this, and to have kids, instead of like out doing other things and potentially harmful things, to have them here focusing on art, something that they can make a career out of and something that could make their lives a lot better, that's good. Like, the fact that you have this to focus on is great.
Couldn't say really give money, but help sponsor VSA, because if you help sponsor us, a lot of kids will benefit from it, because at first we was just a good 3-4 people strong, but now it's at least 7 to 10 on a give or take, depending on the day it is, because really VSA helps a lot of people no matter what, because a lot of people do have a lot of things to say and don't know what talents they really have in them unless they write it on paper. Because really I like to write, but I didn't know it until I came to VSA, and I realized I really do like to write and draw, just like a lot of people that I know. And it helps you bring out of your self, like everything belongs to you. It helps you express yourself and reach out to others and get you out of being shy, helps you not be shy. I don't have a title for this poem, but I fused 2 poems together in style, so hope y'all like it. The gray sky, the unseen sun, the silent streets, the cold feet, the wet concrete, the sound of still water, the troubled picture of black and white, the colors only blind eyes can see. Because you are blind, you only see skin. Because you only see skin, you miss the big picture. Because you miss the big picture, you fail to understand. Because you fail to understand, you let justice be faltered.
well, pretty much, like I said, I was one of these kids before, sitting, just reversing myself back to that. Somebody had to take the chance on me. Somebody had to, show me, hey, this is what it's really all about. And money wasn't back in that time either. It has to be a passion, a commitment to do what you do. And that's reaching out to other people. Like you said, you can never make a lot of money in something like this. That's not what you're here for. It's giving back, having the heart, because we have to do this for the next generation. That's all you're doing, is molding and creating for the next generation. That's why we're in for it.
So what began as an idea, VSA Michigan has become an organization that is making a difference in the lives of students. Art does have an effect and should be funded in public schools.
Arts are important for the special education population, and all populations, in my opinion. Number one, because creativity is eternal. It has no boundaries whatsoever. It doesn't limit an individual. If anything, it opens the mind of an individual. And I'm all for intuitive connection to your creativity. I think it makes you whole, it makes you confident, it makes you present with a sense of a style.
I guess because I get very passionate about art, because me as a child, I wasn't that good of a reader. But when the teachers saw my story through my drawings, they understood that they were reaching me. And that's what art can do. It can bring the reality of any written word into life.